Guys, this is so good. Hello everybody, welcome back. It is Nikki, and today we're going to be making Hungarian paprikash and chicken paprikash, and I am super excited. I have made this recipe once before and it was stunning. It was beautiful, so I'm super excited. I am going to, I think last time I paired this with egg noodles, and but this time I'm gonna try out these rice vermicelli noodles, just because I bought them for one recipe a while ago and I haven't used them since, so I kind of want to get rid of them. So I'm gonna try it with these. As you can see, I already have everything out, and I am using this little, I'm supposed to only use half of this, but it's going bad, so I'm going to use all of it. I know in my previous video I said I was going to use bouillon, but I had this in my freezer and I wanted to get rid of it, so we're going to be using that. It does call for Roma tomatoes, but I had this in my freezer as well, and it's roasted tomatoes, so I'm going to use the rest of this can just to get rid of it. Have the heavy whipping cream, sour cream, flour. It calls for, I'm halving this recipe, and so it calls for 1 garlic, but I'm using 2 because I love garlic. And I'm supposed to use 1.5 pounds of chicken, but I don't got that, so I'm using like less than a pound, but that's okay. That'll be all right. It'll be okay. I'm really excited. I'm going to get everything chopped up. I like to get everything prepped first before I even start cooking. I already have my pots and pans out. I'm going to be using my, I always use my, what is this called? Wok. And then I have my pot with my water in it, because these take like very little time to cook. Do you even cook them? Yes, you do. Sometimes you just soak them, but yeah. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Of course, I'll link this recipe down below. I very much encourage you guys to try it out because it is so good. And also, it has you use Hungarian paprika. I didn't use Hungarian paprika in the last one. I just used regular paprika, and I did half smoked, half regular paprika. And it came out amazing. So yeah, let's get cooking. Now I have everything chopped up. It wasn't very much. If I had a whole tomato, I would have obviously chopped that, but not using that. I left my garlic whole because I'm going to be using a garlic press for that. It's just how I prefer to do it. So what we're going to do is in the wok, we're going to oil it, or actually we're going to use butter. Or lard is what it calls for. You could use butter though. That's what I'm using. And we're going to brown the chicken on each other. We're not going to cook it fully. We're just going to brown the chicken and then put it on a plate. You don't have to cover it with foil because we're going to be putting it back in there afterwards. So it's going to reheat back up and cook all the way through. And then after that, then I'm going to be sauteing the onions, pepper, and garlic, and then I'll be throwing in the tomatoes and letting that kind of cook for about like 5 minutes, and then we will go from there. Okay, so now the chicken and sauce and stuff simmers for 40 minutes. I think after 20 minutes, it's a little, since I did use canned tomatoes, it's a little more watery than it probably should be, and I'm going to be adding more liquid. I'm going to be adding the heavy cream and flour. So I think after 20 minutes, I'm going to take the lid off and let it boil for the last 20 minutes without a cover, just to help it kind of reduce a little bit. And then you also saw that I went ahead and cut the chicken up. I should have waited. So you take the chicken out again before you add in the cream, and then that's when you slice it into bite-sized pieces, and then you put it back. And I think it probably will keep the chicken from getting too dry. So oops, my bad. So if you make this yourself, put the chicken in whole, wait, take it back out, then slice it. I just got ahead of myself, thought I knew the recipe better than I actually did. Not the first time I've done that. And yeah, so I pre-sliced it because I was like, oh, it'll be easier to slice. But I'm sure it'll come out just the same, or just as great. And it smells so good in here. It sucks I have to wait 40 minutes because I am absolutely starving. So I'm gonna have to clean up the kitchen a little bit and then have a little snack. But I'll see you guys in 40 minutes. So it hasn't been 40 minutes yet. However, I did want to go ahead and show you this. This is part of the recipe. This one is a 1/3 cup sour cream, an 1/8 of a cup of heavy cream, and then 1.5 tablespoons of flour. And I just like mixed it until the flour wasn't lumpy, and so like it's nice and smooth. And this is going to be our thickening agent for like the tomatoes and stuff like that, for everything else. So as of right now, we have 27 minutes left. So here in 7 minutes, I'm going to take the top off. I did reduce the heat because it was going a little too ferociously. And yeah, I'll give you guys an update. So it has been 40 minutes. I put my water on to boil, and now this is going, and I am going to set you guys up so that way I can add in this thickening cream mixture. And I'm going to put the noodles in, and I'm just going to let this kind of simmer until the noodles are done, and then we will plate. So you do want to taste your work. Make sure you don't need any like salt and pepper or whatever like that. I did put quite a bit of pepper in this though, so we're going to just go ahead and taste it. I am double dipping. I am the only one eating this, so we could definitely use some more salt and some more pepper. So I'm gonna add that in, and then we'll retest. So I added the salt and pepper. We're gonna retry. Oh. Much better. Much better. That's so good. Whew. Made it a little peppery. Oh crap. But that's super yummy. The flour like thickened it up so nicely. I'm really glad that for the last 20 minutes of it simmering, I left it with the lid off. It just kind of really helped reduce some of that liquid. If I had kept the lid on, it would have been way too much liquid in here. So yeah, but here is like, so this is half the recipe. It makes quite a lot. Like According to the recipe, this is for 3 servings, but you definitely could feed like 4 or 5 people with just this, depending on how much they eat, of course, but like this is quite a bit. I actually think the noodles will work well with this. So here, let's take a little test. A little testy test. It's not going to be pretty. These noodles are long, so I'm going to have to just kind of like bite it off. Guys, this is so good. You guys have to try this recipe. It's so yummy. And if I were you, I would make this again with egg noodles or rice. But these rice vermicelli noodles, they're fine. I mean, they're just kind of, they just don't really go with the dish, but I mean, tastes good. I mean, tastes good regardless. It's just more the texture is kind of strange. That's so good. So yummy. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Well, thanks for joining me in today's dinner making. Chicken paprikash is so yummy. It's one of my favorites. Definitely recommend. Again, I'll put the recipe in the description. Highly recommend you make it. Again, half recipe makes a lot of food, so I would definitely recommend, unless you're feeding a large family, I wouldn't make the whole recipe. But if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so you don't miss a video that I post every single week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!